Good morning. This is the Songbird cooking, homemade cooking. And right here, I have a nice piece of salmon that I just washed off. There's no oil in this pan because it's laying on the skin. The skin has its own oil in salmon. So you really don't have to worry about much oil. You can put a little bit if you'd like. Right now I have it on 4. So it can cook not too slow and not too fast. And the oil can come out of the fish. Now I got this fish from the local grocery store. Well, actually, I don't know if I can say the name, Walmart. I don't say it. They sell everything. And as you can see on this knife, I left these fish scales on the knife. Because see, there's a lot of fish scales right there. For the one purpose is this, to show you that when you buy it fresh in the grocery store, supermarket, or wherever you get it, it's like life. You still have to clean it. You know, it looks all pretty and clean in the package. But once I flipped it over and I started to rinse it off quickly, and so I take the knife and I just scrape it very lightly. And as you can see, that's a lot of scales. You see them? You see? Lots of scales. So I had to get that off of there. Okay, well, I prefer to. I wouldn't like to eat that. It doesn't taste good. I'm gonna dispose of that. Now, I haven't put any salt, pepper, or anything on this. Just wanted you to see the natural form of it. A little Spanish, sweet Spanish paprika. If I could just get it open. And just got this stove. I love this new stove. Nothing like a brand new stove. And and it still has a new stove scent to it. It smells so good. Like that new car scent. Well, I got a new stove scent going on right here. Perfect. I haven't smelled that in a really long time. A very long time. And I got a little garlic powder. I don't want to overpower it. Just want a little bit. And that season it in the pan, it'll cook a little bit and season the pan. So when I flip it over, it'll be fine. Just want to sprinkle just a little bit. Don't want to overpower it. The garlic powder. It's just salmon. So, some fish, they have nice sweet taste to them. And some fish are strong in the flavor. It's very, very strong, see. There's some dried herbs right here. I'm going to use, it's actually basil. And my basil plant died because this apartment is very cold. And it really needed to be warm. I tried to keep it as warm as I could in here, but this apartment was very, very cold. So it didn't survive, so I took it and let it dry and put it in a seasoning container. Alright, so I keep empties. You might want to do that. Or you can buy some if you want. If that's what you want to do. Perfectly well. So just let it cook slowly on 4. And don't rush it. You don't want to rush it. Because again, I didn't put any oil in the pan, so you definitely don't want to rush it. But you can see just a little bit of oil. It's coming right out of the skin. That is omega-3, I believe it is. Omega-3, omega-5, I believe it's an omega-3 from the salmon. A little more seasoning. It's too much, okay? Just let it cook slowly. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to rush it. Again, like I said, you don't want to rush it. You can use the seasonings you like on your salmon. Salmon is really good for your heart. Good for your heart, good for your immune system. It boosts your immune system up. That's what it definitely does that. With or without a pandemic going on, you know, salmon is very good for you. And it's delicious if you cook it right. If you cook it plain, to me, I'm honestly, I don't really like the flavor. So I have to kind of dress it up because I know that I need it, you know? I know that I need this. So I just let it do its thing slowly. You don't want to walk away from your fish, because fish, it doesn't take a long time to cook it. Now you see it's turning white right there. The meat part is actually turning white. Why? Because it's cooking on the inside now. You see? Cooking on the inside, and it looks like it's cooking evenly. It's very good. And what I'm going to do with this, it's making a sound. It's singing now. Okay. Just a little bit. So I don't want to use any oil. So I'm going to put a little cold water in there, because I do not want to use not one drop of oil. I really don't. I'm trying not to do that. Just enough to finish it off. And so now I could turn this to 6, medium. Because see, the water, I know it cooled the pan down. So that way, so I can peel it up, because I'm not using any oil, you know. See how it peels up really easy now with that water. A little bit of skin sticking to the pan, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't regret not using any oil. I don't regret it at all. I'm going to try to flip it over without splashing everywhere. Oh, it's okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to let that cook. Since it has water in it, I am going to walk away for about exactly 5 minutes. Because, see, again, it's almost done. You see? You see that meat? It's pink. It's pink, and it's turning white on the inside. It's just about done. And it's going to be good. See, now it's heating up again. You can tell that it's heating up again, because you can see that the water is starting to sizzle. And that's good. It can cook that dry seasoning, also the water. You see? You see the water, it's bubbling now. So we're back on track with that. That's great. Let that cook. Wonderful, wonderful thing. We're going to let that cook right there. And it's going to taste really good. It's going to be so good. And I'm going to make some eggs to go with it on the side. Some nice, soft, scrambled eggs. Now this is almost just about ready for me to take it out. Just about. Because see, I don't want to overcook it, because then it'll be dry. And I don't want to undercook it, because I'm just one of those people. I like my meat to be 100% done, but juicy on the inside. So that's why I was going to walk away, but now that it's moving so fast, it's really doing its job, I'm going to stand right here until it's done. And so that I can take it out. I think 1 more minute will be good, and it'll be nice and healthy. Okay, I give it 2 minutes. Because again, I like my meat fully done. Fully, 100%. 100%. Some people like salmon pink, but I prefer it 100% done. It is fish. And I'm not trying to scare anybody away from eating raw fish or anything else. I'm not sure how that's really prepared, but I know that when I was 17, I bought some fish from the grocery store. Yep, from the grocery store. Now, what happened was I take it home and I'm getting ready to make breakfast, fish and eggs. I love fish and eggs. Some people like fish and grits. I like fish and eggs with cheese in my eggs. Not a lot. And what happened was I was about to cook it, and when I opened up the package, there was a worm the same color as the fish, the raw fish. It was very skinny and small. Now, I would have thought it was just one of those little hairs that, you pull up off of it or whatever, the veins, but it wasn't. Because the dang thing was wiggling around. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's when I learned. I see my mother do it, clean the food, clean the meat. 17, I thought I could just do what I want. And even if, after I saw that worm, cleaning it wasn't even going to make me eat it. Period. It was skinny and small and wiggly, but when I had known about worms, people get tapeworms. And I didn't want no tapeworm, and I didn't know if that was a tapeworm or not. It was a worm, and I wasn't having it. So since then, I make sure that my fish is 100% done. You can do what you want, of course. Do whatever you want. But me, I'll just have it 100% done. I'll make sure it's done 100%. See now, this is starting to boil out. All the juice is coming out. It's actually making a little sauce of its own. I'm not going to use it because of the seasoning. Too much. It would be too much. I didn't use any salt yet, but I'm just going to use a very small sprinkle of salt. And I'm going to take this out now. Put it on a plate. And get my eggs going. I'm going to cut this in half because there's 2 people eating this. Now you see, now the pan has caught up the heat and all. There's some seasoning in the middle. Caught up now, so I'm going to turn this fire off. And flip this one more time because I'm eating that piece. That's the piece I'm going to eat. A piece of basil and stick. Last little flip. Make sure that skin is good. Just go. You see what it did? Oh, doesn't that look good? Oh, I can't wait to eat. Oh God, that looks good. I can't wait. I'm gonna turn this off and let it finish. Take it out and make my eggs. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, take this out now. Take that right out. That's gonna be good. This here is the skin, which is actually where most of the omega is. I'm going to eat that. Yes, I am. I sure am. And I'm going to clean this pan. Excuse me. So I've cleaned the pan out. I'm going to use the same pan. It does really well for me. I mean, I have others, but this one I kind of really love as far as breakfast is concerned. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that dry out naturally on the stove. A little water. And then I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there. Maybe, say, a tablespoon is good enough. But you use your own judgment. Depends on how many eggs you're making. I'm making about 4 or 5 eggs. Okay, I'm gonna let that heat up real good. Let it heat up. Let it get real warm before you throw those eggs in there. Well, sometimes I like to beat the eggs first. To beat them up, you know, beat them in the blender or whatever. These strawberries also. Fresh strawberries. Now I can drop some eggs in there. These eggs are going to be scrambled. These eggs are going to be scrambled. So, I mean, sometimes when I scramble them, I do fluff them up. But that's mostly when I'm going to start, just make an omelet or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. These are all natural, organic eggs. You know? Best kind to get. Eat some big strawberries, huh? Wow, they're huge. You know, they remind me, when I lived in Alabama, when I was a little girl, there was this girl, she was one of my best friends there. She was older than me. She was 12, I was 6. I was 6 when I met her. She was 10. And in her yard, she had the biggest strawberries. Huge strawberries like this one. Very good. I loved them. I used to love those strawberries. They were the best. They were always sweet. You want to use a spatula, or you can use a fork. I prefer to use a spatula. See, you know, it's already cooking. I'm going to make the sunny side up while I'm sitting here eating strawberries. It's going to make sunny side up. You make sunny side up, you got to make up your mind. Right away. See how quick it almost made those sunny side ups? So you want to make up your mind quick, because eggs do not wait for anyone. They cook. I'm going to be still a little bit, though. Some people eat theirs that way. I don't. Again, whatever I eat, I need it to be fully done. So actually the pan is really hot now. And the thing is about eggs is they cook faster than you can count. So I'm going to turn this fire off. It's an electric stove, sorry. I'm going to turn that off because the pan is hot enough. And I don't need to have the heat on it, because then my eggs will be dry. And there's nothing I hate worse than dry eggs. I don't like dry eggs. I like my eggs. See that? Almost made the sunny side up right there, but it's good. That's the way I like it. See, these eggs are fluffy. It'll be more fluffier if you beat them first. You see, these are more dense because I didn't beat them. And you see that? The fire's off. And they're done. They're actually done. I'm just going to flip it just one more. I don't want any white egg parts not done. Don't want that. I don't. I don't know who does, but I don't. And we all know the reasons why. Most of us know. If you don't know, you can Google it. The benefits of raw eggs or the side effects, both. You want to know about both sides of it, the story. See, these eggs are done. In the pan, you see the sting? You see that sting? Excuse me. You see that? It's still hot. The pan is hot and it's off. You see? I gotta set the clock on here. Yeah. These eggs are done. They're done now. You see how they're just rolling over like that? Just rolling over. You see? The pan is hot. It's still hot. So you don't need to keep the fire on an egg. Once the pan heats up, hey, just turn it off and move them around, or don't move them around. Flip it over if you don't want to move them around after. You can flip it over. That's another show, and put some cheese in between or whatever. So, this is the end of this breakfast show. And in this time, like we're staying quarantined and safe, a girlfriend of mine named Karen Ingram called me last night. She was having a birthday party for her daughter. And the only people at that birthday party was her daughter, and her younger daughter. You know, maybe the daughter's mate. There was no big party of all the friends coming over or anything like that. And they could still, rejoice because, you're living. And this time when people are dropping like flies, I told her daughter, don't lie about your age because, it's just proof that you were blessed to live through some kind of pandemic. It's not the first one. And I reminded her mother about when me and her were in our 20s. And hepatitis B was killing so many people. So many people died, like quick. See? And then it was the 90s. The 90s came and HIV came and a different strand of flu came and, 30 strands of another virus. This is not the first time. And like I said, we're all crying for somebody we know. But we can't just stay stagnated and just not do anything. Like whatever we were doing before people started dropping, keep doing what you're doing. Take your time for grieving and keep pushing. And try to stay healthy. And like I said again, this is the perfect time while we're quarantining ourselves and maintaining distance so we can all live longer, whoever's still here. This is a good time to practice your cooking. If you didn't have time to practice cooking because you were working a lot or whatever, you had a really busy life, before the quarantine, this is the best time to practice on your cooking. Man, woman, boy, and girl. Practice. Practice so that when we all come together, whatever. I just got a bad message I'm going to ignore. When we all come together, it's just perfect. We can all cook together, cook a dish, bring it when we all get a chance to be gathered again. We all be great cooks then. Peace, love, and light. Have a great morning. Blessings.